So I think, wait, come back. I think these two are your best right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to play with those a little bit. Let's have that come from his nose, and then I'm going to make it bigger so it kind of breaks out. Okay. And then I'm going to grab your shape in the background here. Is that the blue one? We've got several shapes. Where's the blue one? There's the blue one. Just see what's going on with that. Okay, so that one will lock down. That one's blue. Okay. So let's take that one and we'll just make this very large. Like that. Okay, and then let me unlock everything. And give me this one. We'll make that one very large as well. Okay, and then I'll grab this guy, and we'll go copy, paste it back, throw it all the way to the back, and we'll go 40-point stroke as well. So I think something like that. We can kind of take this and let's just tweak it a little bit. And so I'm just going to kind of cut these so that I can take this and kind of pull it out just a little bit more, so it's a little bit rounder. All right, now since we are doing some shadows, let's do something like this.
So why would you want to have that thick of a stroke on the outside of it?
Good question. So when it is icon size, notice how your igloo and your glove, they just kind of look, I don't know what the word is, but it looks a little cheap, you know?
Okay.
Whereas this one looks really intentional.
Okay.
And so, because icons are not, just because they're viewed at such a small size, that usually the outside of them either have nothing or it's a pretty thick border to kind of give you like an idea of its silhouette. So I just did something like that. You could also do like a darker orange or something. It doesn't have to be the blue. It could even be black if you wanted. But if you take something like this, let's take this, and I'm just going to move this up like that. Then I'm going to use this shape and this shape, and I'm going to cut this one like that. And then we'll come in here like this, and I'm just going to go HSB and darken that up a little bit. There we go. Now we just have like a little bit of a thing, and I can still come in and say it's a little strange. And so I still have this top shape that I can kind of do stuff like that with. And then I can grab this one and round that out a little bit. Maybe lower this. Let's cut this off and put this in. So I'm just kind of making little minor adjustments. Okay, and so if our light source is from the upper left-hand corner, what if we did something like this as well? Let's go copy, paste in front. We'll turn it black, or sorry, turn it white. We'll just put like a little bit of just a little dealio like that. Maybe we squish it and rotate it. Something like that. And I'll grab this one. Oops, I'm going to put it in the front. Command Y, grab this guy, Command Y, bring it to the front. There we go. So you could use that or not.
Okay.
Or you could do something like this. Let's just make like a little copy paste in front. We'll bring it inside. And then we'll grab this guy. Oops, wrong button. Grab this guy like that. And let's zoom in. Command Y, so let's go like this, shape builder tool, cut those, and I've got this little crescent on the inside. I can just say, let's just make it a little bit gray. So I'm just going to go, I've got for some reason, there we go. kind of something like that. So there's a couple different options, you know, just to give it just a little bit of depth or interest. And I kind of like this one because it's coal. And so I can just kind of move that up, move that over. So
Okay.
that. Okay. Then you've got this nice shadow right here. All right. And so I like that. But I would just push it a little bit so that it kind of like shows a little bit of like depth of where that's coming from. And then you just cut it with this because the shadow is only going to fall on something. See how it does that?
So how you did with the carrot and the shadows and stuff, how do you do that, like the copy, cut, and paste, or what, you know what I'm talking about?
Say it again.
Like how, especially with the carrot, you made like the second one and then cut it out again.
Yeah. So if you have like your carrot, right? So you got this going on. And we'll make it carrot colored. Like that. You can do one of two things. You can just come in and just copy paste in front, and then you have two copies of them, right? And then you just start adjusting it. Or what I did is I grabbed this one and I held Alt, and I just clicked and dragged it over, and now I've got two copies, and then I can just cut them, and then I just take the one that's behind, and I make that darker.
So what do you mean by cut them? What exactly are you doing?
Oh, that? Sorry.
Yeah.
So if you have two shapes like this, and you select them, then Shift M will give you shape builder tool,
okay.
right? So the shape builder tool does a number of things. It can combine objects into one object.
Oh, and then
It can subtract objects.
Okay.
Or it can subtract and combine objects. So yeah, I'm glad you asked because I think I went over that too quickly. But on this, I would just cut it. And if I wanted to cut it again, I could say I want it to be round over here. So I could make like this one and this one, and then I could just like use that circle to cut like a round segment out or whatever.
Okay.
Right? And then you can just come in and you just say, let's zoom in on this. You can just come in and say, you know, I want to round this one out, so I can grab that one and I can round it. Okay, or I want this to come off, but I want it to stay here, so I'm going to add an anchor point there and there. Delete these two. It looks like I've got multiple shapes here, so let's get rid of that one. Okay, delete those two, and then maybe I can like start adjusting my handlebars again, kind of like that. I want to add handlebars to this one, so I'm going to go Shift C, which gives me my anchor point tool. I can pull some handlebars through there. I've got too many anchor points down here because it's making the line a little wobbly. So I can get rid of these, and then I can kind of pull this out. So I can just start kind of adjusting that shape, like kind of however I want to.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then something like this, I think you're basically done. You just need like a thicker stroke. And so we can take this stroke and we'll take all of these shapes. I'll just show you a trick. I'm going to take this whole thing and make a copy of it. Come over here with my copy. Just put it in here. Okay, so we've got our copy. I'm going to go into my Pathfinder panel. This upper left button will take all this and turn it into one shape.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I click that, it's all in a one shape. And I can just go in and say, give me that action. And I can take this and put it back. And then throw it to the back behind everything. And then just increase my stroke. Okay. And then if I don't want a brown, I can change it from that to another thing. And so I can come in and say, actually, I want it to be green. Do that, and then increase my stroke.
So would you want it the same color on the whole thing?
If I were doing this, I'd probably have a second one that's this color.
Okay.
Right? And so you could come in and do something along these lines where it's like, let's delete that and let's grab this. And we'll make two versions of it. So we'll go like this. I'm going to take this guy and come down. I'll combine these into one shape like that. And then I can just this on top, which might be easier. We'll see. Maybe I don't want it to go on top yet. I'm not sure. Let's put that there, and we'll make this a big giant stroke. Okay, and then we'll grab this one. Let's see, do we even need this? Don't, so let's use that. So I'll take this and I'll stick it there. And then we'll go big giant stroke, throw that to the back. I can take this big giant one, I can throw that to the back. And you just decide kind of whether you want that stroke to be in the front of that or not.
Okay.
And I think I do, so I'll just like bump it up until it covers what I want it to cover. Sometimes that'll take a little while. Might be easier if I just take this. So I'll just take this and throw this in the back instead. That'll probably be easier. There we go. Right, so I think you were super close there already. I think it's just the weight of it.
Yeah.
You do something like this. Can you define these shapes with shadows rather than with lines?
Okay.
Right? Because that's kind of what you're doing with these other ones. We have this nice shadow here, and so could I come in here and instead of having these blue lines, I could get rid of that. Oops, the way around. Get rid of that blue line and say, can I define this with a shadow? I think I can. So I'm just going to come in. I'm just going to make this one like this. Oops, wrong button. Get rid of my stroke, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say, you know, what if like I had this section and it was just kind of, so I'm just going to like draw a line where I might have that shadow, and then I'm going to take my, again, shape builder tool, and I'm just going to cut it. And so I'm just going to say, oh, I need this line to go all the way across or it won't cut. So it'll come all the way across like that. I think that'll still work, but I need it to come down this way. There we go. Okay. So let's grab that one and this one, and then we'll just cut that. So now when we come back, I can grab this line, which can go away, and this line, which I no longer need. Right there, and that can go away. And then that one stays the same, but I need this one to be a little bit darker. And so we'll grab this color, eyedropper tool, like that. Okay, and then I can get rid of this little white line. Okay, and then can I do the same thing here? I think I can, so let's get rid of our stroke, and let's say, just do a big circle. Something like that, probably. Okay, and then I'll grab this guy, and I'll cut it. Okay, and then I'll grab this one in the back. We'll color that blue, and then we take this, we put it in the front, and then we find the other one, this, that, front, take this guy, let's get rid of the blue stroke, that all the way to the front, and now we started kind of defining that shape. You know, maybe we need a little bit more this way. I feel like we're missing something. We are. This guy needs to be in the front too. So we'll come back, step that up, and step it back one. Then we can just take this whole shape and copy paste them back, and we'll give it a big giant stroke.
So would you want to do the shadows that same color, or would it be better to do
You
it
could,
like,
or you could do them like this color.
okay.
Because actually what you're pointing out probably makes more sense. Since you've done it over here, it would make more sense to do that. And so
Okay.
you could just take all of these ones and change them to that color, and then just take this one and just make it, that could be the blue maybe,
Yeah.
or it could be darker. You can kind of see like what makes sense.
Okay.
Right, so basically you're just kind of going through and, you know, give us a nice big silhouette, maybe a little bit of lighting. Try to eliminate as many lines as possible. And I think that'll really do it, because I mean you're really close. So what's causing this line? Yeah, so you could get rid of that line or make it bigger. It's probably a little small, but if you did something like that, it would probably help. I can't remember what we just did, but whatever,
Okay.
that type of thing. So icons are often about just kind of exaggerating things.
Okay.
So a lot of the subtlety of what you're doing makes a lot of sense for like posters and other things, but for like icons it gets lost because they're just so
Got it. So you did the same exact thing for the top three too? Just make it a lot bigger?